and welcome to the Trekle Trunk here on Locutors of Trek, a subunit of Live Long
Indeed,
and
good evening.
Podcast. And here in
Yes,
what we
right.
pulled out of the Trekle Trunk tonight is 4, or you could say more like 3 and like a third,
A bit.
3 and a bit.
Yeah.
Comic
Yeah,
books.
3 and a bit.
We're
Just a
we're
titch.
we're rushing to catch up to the current. We're
Mm-hmm.
getting there because the Day of Blood is upon us. So
Indeed.
we'll get
But
there.
before we rush too fast, I'm
Yes.
Dave. Across from me
Oh,
here in our virtual space is Davin. We are your Locutors of Trek, a.k.a.
Plain
Simple
Tailors.
Tailors.
We
And
are
welcome
here.
back. It's nice to
And I
be here again.
am sipping a beautiful whiskey given to me so generously by
Mm-hmm.
the co-cutor across from me, Slancha.
Indeed. No, this is no Synthale. It's the real
So
stuff.
so your honor is running pretty high. But what if I told you, Dave, that there is greater honor to be found for all of those who follow the red path?
Ooh, it would be a tempting thought for any young Klingon who's lost their way after the Dominion War, I think. It's an interesting problem we found here, right? Like I do like the bringing back of Kahless the Unforgettable. He does work in this sense, right? Because even in his first appearances, he had those insecurities, you know?
He did. So
Yeah.
we are here to review 3 and a bit of issues. We have Star Trek number 6 from this very year, Stardate, whatever it is, year 2023. Star Trek Defiant number 2, Deep Space Nine, Dog of War number 2, and Prelude to the Day of Blood, which is just part of the free comic book day entry from Star Trek. So
Indeed.
we'll get warmed up for the Day of Blood, which will certainly be upon us next Trekle Trunk.
I'm looking forward to those stories.
What say we start with Star Trek 6, written by Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly, art by Ramon Rosanas. I got a nice cover here.
Sounds great.
Data and Spot.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love that.
I like Spot's little smile there.
Yeah, he's a good boy. Oh, right, Spot's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Never mind. Yeah. Good girl.
Good kitty.
Mm-hmm. Good kitty. True. We know that because Spot snuck out one evening and, well, let's just say, things happened.
Indeed.
So we're picking up on Star Trek 6 if you haven't been following us, or a refresher if you have, is Sisko has come back from the Celestial Temple to track down the God Killer, which turned out to be Kahless the Unforgettable 2, Kahless the Second.
Yes.
Let's not mix that up, because I feel very strongly that there is a very, very large difference between those two, which will come up in our readings here tonight. So
and I think that's an interesting question they do spend some time wrestling with, which I think is to the credit of the stories. And what's worse is that Kahless has got a hold of what seems to be an orb of the prophets and has weaponized that thing. So we pick up, I think, we pick up down on the surface of the city ship.
Yes, indeed.
Where we had left the last going off with Jake unconscious or perhaps even dead on the ground.
Yeah. So, and Data, of course, captaining above in the Theseus. Love that. The USS. I love this USS Theseus. I got to tell you, like, Scotty and we come to find out Balana's little pet project. So that's fun. Oh, there's a lot of things I want to talk about in these issues. Let me a little opening thoughts here. I know I've been saying this
Sure.
every week, but I've been warming up more and more to this story the more we read it, and man, am I hooked now. Um, these two issues were really good for me, and so was
Hmm.
the Prelude. So, uh,
Right on.
little
Right
spoiler
on.
alert there. Like, I would love to see this as a movie, not so much a series. This is like a movie or like a two-part
Oh
mini
man,
series or
and
something.
once you start to get a good look at the whatever kind of creature that city ship is, especially that wonderful splash page where it really starts doing
Oh
its
yeah.
thing. Um, yeah, I would love to see that on a big screen. That would be great.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
city ship is coming alive.
yeah, and I think it's
and
hurtling
then and
toward
there's
Earth, isn't it?
yes indeed, because it said last issue that it wants to inflict pain upon somehow it isolated humans as its target. Because I guess they were was it humans who were living on it? And I don't know if we learned that, did we? Like it
No,
talks
but
about the
they were
people who
messing
were
around
lived on
on
it
the
and
surface when it
yeah.
woke up, and so it had
Yes,
most
true,
proximate
true,
contact
true.
to their
Oh, right,
minds.
and
I
caused
think,
it
yeah,
pain. So it's like you caused me pain, so now I will cause you pain. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so it's associated. I think all of its pain,
But
which
there's a funny
was primarily induced by Kalis,
yes. Well, yeah, and then they ran.
which I think is kind of elegant,
Bang
right? Like,
bang.
yeah, Kalis
They
makes a
totally
big
meant to do.
mess and then promptly leaves, and he'll
This
let
I will
somebody else
say,
deal with it.
this is certainly not Kalis the first, but this Kalis is pretty clever so far. Like he's definitely staying one step ahead of kind of two
Oh yeah,
creatures gunning for him.
absolutely. He's
Not to
no
mention
slouch, that's for
gods. He's
sure.
staying ahead of gods right now, of all like shapes and sizes and abilities, you know. So
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
pretty impressive stuff that he is doing. He's still a little bit of anyway. We'll get into that. But there's a funny line here. He says, "We're hanging on to the side of a god, Doctor Crusher." Sisko says. So there's only one possible plan. Hold the hell on.
Yeah.
And then they're like wondering how they're not getting obliterated since they're traveling at warp, but this creature creates its own warp field, which is interesting.
Hmm.
And then Cisco decides he needs help from the gods that are supposed to be on his side.
Hmm.
And of course he asks for his mother because he's just like, if one of them's going to help me, it better be her.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then there's this one page here now, which I just find very again, I want to see it in a movie because it would sound so haunting. The
Hmm.
page of
Yes,
the
that's exactly it.
just the words, like when you read these words and how they're layered on top of one another, like it's just
You
kind of
can't even
haunting,
make out
really.
every sentence. It's really wonderful. You get this
No,
sense of
oh,
a multitude of thoughts or voices or impressions all coming through at once, but with this main sort
it's
of
just like yeah,
thematic
it's like
thrust.
yeah, like left alone, left all alone. When they found me, they worshipped me, but I was also their captors. I thought they were family. They told me they were family. Like it's almost like a child or something freaking out, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I
Well,
will
and
not
this
be caged
the what it
again, it
implies is
says.
a story that feels it feels similar to the story of the creatures at Farpoint, or the
Yeah,
creature that
it
was
does.
trapped at
And
Farpoint.
I wonder if it's a nod to
Um,
that because there's
I mean,
even a
it
similarity
has,
in the design, you know, kind of.
yeah. There's a physical similarity as well.
Mm.
I wonder if it isn't a similar creature. Um, but yeah, it's got all this pain and rage and anger, and its plan is to use that on these little things that have been causing it all this pain, not really
Swatting the
connecting it to
flies.
Kalis.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And they are the flies upon its back at the moment.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, and very irritating ones.
mhm.
Um,
So like
yeah, so I
Cisco's
mean,
on the bridge.
I think
Yeah, go.
Cisco's conversation is sort of inconclusive, as I
Hmm.
recall,
It always is
as is
with the
true with
Bajoran
many an
prophets,
encounter
man.
with the.
The Bajoran prophets,
They don't like
look,
straightforward answers.
or answers at all, or helping really much at all. He convinced them once to help once. And other than that,
Yeah,
They're just a whole lot of confusion, man. Those Bajoran prophets. They're lucky to have Ben Sisko, in my opinion. And you know what? He gets to that point in this issue. There's some good stuff here. I might even shed a tear.
Look out.
Yeah, look out, everyone. This is
Look
good
out.
stuff, I'm telling you. This is so he's lying on the ground in one of his prophet comas. And he says, hurt, loneliness, anger, silence.
Mm.
And Dr. Crusher's just like, does that remind you of anyone? So she connects this like similarity between this creature and Ben himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to this page here where it's this red alert kind of to all Starfleet vessels, which is warning of this crisis.
Oh, yeah.
And how all scientific missions and peacekeeping, everything's canceled, and everybody go to the Sol system.
Yeah.
So they're ready. They're like, things gonna have to get through a fleet, man.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to kind of, they've learned a lot of lessons from Wolf 359, you know?
Yeah.
And I wonder what sort of fleet it would really run up against.
You know what? It
sounds like it'd be a
they
good
learned those
membership.
lessons, though. It's good that they learn those lessons because
Sure.
so many times
Unfortunate
Starfleet
how they
gets
learned
caught.
it, but yeah.
But think of how many times we see Starfleet with just not enough ships in the right place. Like, so much.
Sure.
You think they could afford to make the ships, or maybe it takes time. They're huge and complicated endeavors, but still, it's just like they always seem to be caught flat-footed on the amount of ships they have.
Yeah, they really do.
Certainly,
it feels like they're really like the dynamics of something like the post-war drawdown in various armed forces in the West seems kind of implicit in it, right? Like there seems to be a cycle like that for Starfleet. Like when things are going okay,
there is.
They don't really build ships so fast. They put more time into research, into development, into like exploration, and then again they get caught with their pants down. And like, oh jeepers, let's mobilize into a full scale production economy again. But yeah, you're right. Like that always takes time.
Like by TNG season 2, Starfleet was, the Romulans could have came in and really did some damage if they wanted to. Starfleet was pretty complacent by like TNG.
They seem to be, yeah.
And
yeah,
then
they were pretty comfortable.
Worlds happens and things start to change.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They start ramping up for the Borg and then the Dominion. Yeah. So they're getting shot at, or like there's this creature creates spatial distortion. And that's affecting planets. It's affecting, of course, the Theseus. And so they're trying to deal with that.
Yeah.
And then Data,
they execute a great maneuver where they bring less harm to more planets, but that's about the most they can do.
Yeah, that's about all they can do. And Data's just like, yeah, that's cool though. Do that. Like that's better than nothing. And then Data says to Mr. Scott, he's just like, Mr. Scott, please activate the Theseus's classified propulsion system because the problem is they can't go fast enough.
Yeah.
To keep up with this creature.
Their max is warp 9.9.
Yeah, and Tom's just like, look, we're about to hit transwarp, and like, look, y'all don't want to be salamanders. I've been there. I still have salamander kids out there that need me, and I'm not there.
Yeah,
so,
they're on some planet out there.
They're out there.
Gosh.
They'll be very skilled and talented little salamanders. The offspring of Tom Paris and Captain Janeway. I mean, come on.
Oh man.
Did I say Catherine Captain Janeway?
You did. You did.
That's pretty funny.
That sounds like an excellent way of addressing a captain, though.
For some throw it in the middle.
Yes.
Why not?
Jean-Luc Captain Picard.
Yeah.
Awesome. Catherine Captain Janeway.
You know what? We're doing
it works.
We'll do that next writer's room if we ever get around to it.
Oh yeah.
Writer's room's coming back. That's a good segment.
So it's
Scotty denies it instantly. He's just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
I did not know what you're talking about.
I went through every file.
every time I step on a ship, I read everything about it and everything in its files. It takes me 2 minutes. Why wouldn't I? Like,
Exactly.
seriously, I'm an android. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So he says, like, normally classified marker would deter most, but he's like, whereas my best friend is a decorated warp drive engineer. So it's like, he has an interest in these things and he can understand these things.
Oh yeah. Um,
And then he's just
no,
like,
I
yeah,
forget what they call
Torres
it.
was
Is
working on it for months. And Tom's just like, whoa, whoa, what do you mean Torres? Like B'Elanna Torres? This was her pet project? And he's just like, yeah, laddie. If you were nice, she was going to let you design the bridge canopy. Like, that's all Tom gets, man. They do this whole ship and Tom gets the bridge canopy. Which they didn't
can't
even give
get
him.
no
He must have not
respect.
been good.
No, he must not have been behaving. That tracks
Seriously. It does. No,
for
no,
Tom Paris.
it,
Let's be
it
honest.
does. I mean, clearly, like, we'll see in the
Yeah.
next issue, B'Elanna's not quite behaving either. So, we'll, it's, which
No,
tracks.
also true.
Those two are like the ultimate, just like disaster couple that they work
Oh,
together
they
because they
really
kind
they
of
kind of
have like
careen through
cohesive
life.
disasterism, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love them.
No,
They're
they're
great.
just like their life is like billiard balls colliding. It's awesome.
But another funny nod at or kind of poke at Tom Paris. Scotty's just like, yeah, I've been telling people for years that transwarp is a dead end. It's like, you know, salamanders, but like, so we call this proto warp,
Proto warp, that's right.
which interesting
So we're not doing
ties
quantum
into
slipstream here. We're not doing that stuff. We're doing yeah. So what does it
which
tie
this
into?
Prodigy in Star
Oh,
Trek
right.
Prodigy they use proto warp. So nice little nod there.
Oh yeah.
So I wonder if Scotty designed the
But this
proto
is a
cell.
proto warp
Oh
drive
man,
that's
my
only
head's
going to
spinning
give
now.
them.
My head's spinning.
It's only going to give them a certain amount of time, though, right? This proto warp drive, as I recall.
Sure, likely, but how much
Yeah,
proto warp do you need to get where you're going?
it's pretty fast.
Likely so.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so then
Um,
Crusher's calling out Ben. She's trying to talk to Ben and not the emissary of the prophets. She's just like, Ben, not whatever else. And she
mhm.
tells him how like he needs to act now, but he also needs to act in the interest of his family and like appreciate that moment because she lost Jack without ever getting to say goodbye because she just got a notification. Oh, by the way, Jack didn't make it back, and then
Yeah,
she had to watch Wesley become a trans-dimensional being and never see him again. So it's like, of course, this is before we well, this conflict with Picard, I guess, doesn't it? This story because there's no Jack Crusher, or is there? And she's still doing these
well,
things.
she
Okay,
may
yeah,
not
you know
know a
what?
whole
She
lot
could
about that.
because Jack Crusher went to school on Earth in England, and that's why he talks like that. So she could still off be doing these crazy adventures.
Sure,
No,
absolutely.
but Data hasn't seen her in 20 years. Okay, so here we go. This not canon, but the way this story's going, I wish it was. Because it's really pulling me in.
Yeah,
They even do some things here that here in this next page that addresses one of my complaints from early on.
yeah, yeah.
So,
They do.
so
It's a
she,
really good
so,
conversation.
and that's here, and it's friggin' beautiful. So I did. All right, well, I'm gonna go off camera so I don't cry. I'm gonna hide behind the page. So,
Okay.
uh, so he snaps out of his coma, and this is why, the first thing I said when we started reading the story is like it's cool and everything, but it's not the return of Ben Sisko that I would want
Hmm.
for mostly reasons that he missed the birth of his child and he didn't go meet that child before taking off on this mission and all this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But he addresses that here, and it's pretty powerful stuff, I think. So he just snaps over it. He stands up and he approaches Jake and he says, "I'm sorry, Jake." He's like, when I touched the orb of the prophets, I became two men, and I thought I could live both their lives. I gambled with our futures, and I lost Jake. I wasn't there for my own daughter's birth. I wasn't there for my dad. We find out Joseph Sisko's dead. And I can only imagine the pain you must have gone through being left to carry that load. Again, he leaves all that stuff to Jake, which is another thing. Not just
Hmm.
not there for Jake, but leaving all that stuff in his hands. And he's like, Jake's like, no, you didn't control the prophets. And he's like, that's a lie, Jake. I could have fought it. I could have done anything to stay with you. I told you we were a family, and then I left you alone, and I pretended it wasn't my fault, but it was. I love you, Jake, and I'll never leave you behind again. So that page does a lot of work for me as far as my complaints go. Uh,
Yeah.
he's
One of the things I liked, as much as the reconciliation that's there between Ben and Jake, is that that's a moment where they're also telling this Star Trek story in a really beautifully Star Trek way, right? That's the B plot against which the larger problem of the mess Kalis has left behind as he goes merrily off to do his next insane thing is carrying on, right? Like there's a beautiful sort of mirroring and resonance between those two stories in terms of their central concern. And you know, it was very elegantly done.
yeah, and both
You
have
know,
a beautiful embrace there. I see.
yeah,
It was. He got to the point where I wanted him to be at. I mean, you know what? You pop out of that celestial temple, you're still like high on that and on the mission they've given you. And it took him a little bit to snap out of that. And a little bit of
yeah,
um counseling from Dr. Crusher, who was like, which that comes up.
yeah. And in that sense, it's a really interesting pacing choice too.
There's
To leave
in
this
both
for a
of these.
moment where the story is kind of beginning to turn.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. Throw that great dramatic moment into this hardcore action, what would be an action sort of tension moment. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, very interesting. This is good stuff. I'm telling you,
it's got a
I can't
great
say enough.
structure. Yeah, it's a well told story
But
that way.
another thing is that a lot of the character combinations in this and Defiant I'm really enjoying. And one of them is the Sisko. I enjoy Sisko and Data, but I really like this Sisko Crusher relationship a lot.
Hmm.
There were times on Deep Space Nine where he could have used a person like her. I mean, Dax was sort of that, but he has so much kind of weird back story with Dax that's
Oh
always
yeah,
different
yeah.
and stuff. Like, yeah, she's a unique character, Doctor Crusher, and doesn't get her due. I think a lot of the time.
Well,
But
she
hmm,
gets a really interesting role to play here.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like that.
As she did in Picard season 3.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
So then the creature that they were on
Hmm.
was listening the entire time, and did feel some sort of connection and kinship with Ben Sisko, and Sisko realizes
Hmm.
that. He's like, "Oh, you were listening," and the creature says to him, "I understand." So backs down. The creature backs down. The fleet backs down. The fleet was all ready. Fleet was coming in, gunning. What do we
Yeah.
have there? We've got oh, it looks like a Picard season 2 fleet where they all seem to be the same ship. uh,
Oh, it's that fleet again.
it's that fleet again. It's
Yeah.
Riker's fleet. Uh,
That's right.
he could be. He's not in this story. Maybe he's sitting there on running that fleet. Uh,
War one, two, three, four,
which I'm
five, six,
glad. Like
seven, eight.
Riker is, like again with the character choices. Riker's not a character you could have in this story. There's a lot of characters in Star Trek that would not work in this story, from Deep Space Nine and TNG and Voyager.
It's
Um,
interesting. No, they did a really good selection that way.
it really
Yeah.
did, and almost especially in Defiant. Let me get there.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
Cisco
yeah.
talks to the fleet. He's like, "Hold your fire." Data's like, "Thank you for coming back." Data was really not enjoying being in command here. Like there's certain
Hmm.
times that there was one point where he's just like, "I am experiencing overwhelming stress."
Oh, I love that
And,
moment. I am
yeah,
experiencing overwhelming stress.
yeah, and Paris is like, "Well, maybe turn that off then," but he doesn't. He chooses not to. He chooses
Yeah.
to power through it, which is great. And there's another point when they come up with that plan. He's just like, I'm experiencing pride.
Oh yeah, that was lovely.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, they
So
capture that little
this is
Brent Spiner data smile very well.
this is this is easily the best issue of this run so far. This is for me. This
Oh,
is
art wise, I think
excellent
it's also probably the strongest.
art. Oh, very good.
Like the big splashy pages of that city ship are gorgeous.
Oh, now we come to something, and maybe I should come back to it after we finish the story, which is only a couple more pages, which is Once Bitten by Jake Sisko. I want to come
Oh
back to
yeah,
that. I liked that a lot. So, so Cisco's in his ready room, or I assume it's his ready room. I don't think he has an office like he did on the station on the Theseus.
I don't imagine so. No.
No. So they're talking about Worf, and Crusher's
Yeah.
wondering if he is okay. So they're like, I don't know, but it's Cisco and Data and Crusher in the room, and she walks in, and Cisco's like, I wanted Mr. Data here for this. And this is where he mentions, because again, she helped him a lot out during this series so far, as far
Hmm.
as like just processing his thoughts and kind of getting back to himself. And he, a promotion for her, wants to make her second officer behind Data.
Yeah.
And she's just like, well, I'm going to continue to push you. And he's just like, well, that's absolutely what I want.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of all the captains, he appreciates that the most, I find. Like
Yeah.
Picard and
Well,
Janeway
he got such
pretty
wonderful
much just want
doses of
you to
that
do
with
things
Kira.
their way. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yes, exactly. Kira. And he had to get used to that at first. He
You got to learn to like it with Kira because
hated
you're not going to get anything else.
No, you're not. Yeah, you're not. I love Kira.
Oh,
So
she's
yeah,
got one of the
then
grewhat character introductions of the whole thing, which is like, and what do you want?
yeah. What do you want? Well, you want the office?
That's
She's
he's
like,
like,
yes.
well, you know.
But first, I was going to say hi and then take the office. Yeah.
Oh man, so good.
But
All
Sisko's
right,
speaking to his crew, and he's just like, it's a pleasure to serve with you, and we're going home.
so they're headed to
Next
Deep Space
issue,
Nine.
we're heading home, baby. We're heading home. As you can see,
Mm-hmm.
here on Locutors of Trek, that is also our home.
Indeed.
Well, it's a little different. We have a giant microphone at the top of our station, but still beautiful pylons.
I think of it more like a hood ornament,
Yeah, well, but yet functional. When the
That's
chief
true.
is on. If the chief isn't
That's
there,
true.
not functional. So, what do you
Takes a
think
lot
of
of
that
maintenance.
issue? What do you think, or this story, where it's going?
Well, again, I thought this was a really elegantly written issue. I liked it that we got a pause from sort of being freaked out about the fact that Kalis was showing up, because that's a big splash of the last couple of issues. So we kind of get a bit of a breather from that.
But
no, it's good, but like you get to take a different turn of the story, even in the midst of this very high action, right? And yeah, I loved the development of the relationship there between Jake and Sisko, but also, as you said, between Crusher and Sisko. That's really interesting. She's turned out to, I was wondering what kind of role she was going to end up playing in this story, because she sometimes did get sidelined in TNG and didn't always get the best plots.
For most of it.
And this is actually a great place for her to be.
And really harnesses her character very well, I find. And she was the most interesting choice. Like the rest of the choices for his crew make more obvious sense. And it's just, at first it's like, yeah, why is Crusher there? He probably doesn't need a doctor. He could have got any doctor. But he respected her experience and her opinion.
Maybe it was between her and Pulaski.
That's why he wanted her. It's always between her and Pulaski. Always.
That's right.
But I forgot.
Secret rivalry that's shaping Starfleet.
let me quickly get back to this Once Bitten by Jake
Oh yeah,
Starlin
this is a
event.
beautiful thing.
So this is
This may be the best single page in the whole issue, honestly.
obviously,
It's
I
it's lovely.
agree. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's like I don't know where what you would call this. What would you call it? It's like an article
I
that
think
he's
this would be
writing,
like an article he's writing, like a
or
little
a
editorial
memoir
piece,
type
or a
thing, or
yeah, like a reflection or that sort of a thing,
yeah,
like a column,
something
like it's his column piece.
something that would be in Reader's Digest or something.
Yeah, right. Like, because that's kind of what he does. He becomes sort of an essayist, journalist, but almost in the sense of like journals themselves, like that classic meaning of like a travel log or a journal of that
Yeah,
variety.
like the captain of a ship
So
with
yeah,
no
he
clothes.
seems, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it starts off and it just starts off. He's like, when I was young, I was bitten by a wolf spider. And then he gets into that and he talks about how he killed the spider out of fear. He's like, and not out of self defense because the deed had been done. I could have just let the spider run away. He wasn't going to bite me again. But out of fear, I
Hmm.
killed the spider. And he's like, he's thought about that for 20 years. And I can relate to that. There's a lot to relate to here. Like I've often think
Yeah,
of like a bug I killed 20 years ago by like yeah,
yeah.
this is good stuff. And he says he felt that he was left behind by the momentum of the world, in that our culture was too quick to
Hmm.
move past our shared trauma. But these days, I find myself considering that trauma doesn't need us to dwell on it, just to make sure it's remembered. Just like the spider's bite, it creates a moment that cannot be forgotten. Even if we hide from our truth, the truth remains. Yes, I was in pain, but I also let that pain control me, and to define myself, but not the other, was to live by to define myself by one, but not the other, was to live without seeing who I really
Hmm.
was, which I thought was I love that paragraph.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And a really, really excellent point about the nature of trauma.
Yes, it doesn't
It's
need
there
your
whether you like
help.
it or not.
Yes, it
Yeah.
doesn't need your help. You don't need to dwell on it actively.
And
It's
there
just
are
there.
moments when that's therapeutic. And he makes a good point about that, right? Like
Absolutely, and he does. He
uh
absolutely does.
but
But
know
I think
those
he's
moments
talking
of
about
growth
long
as well,
term.
of going
He's just like,
past. Yeah.
yes. He's like, there's a
There's
moment.
a
He's talking
wonderful
about this moment he's talking about is the moment where he stops actively focusing on his trauma.
yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
there.
yeah. There's a really wonderful theory of grief that was developed in response to, the sort of um now kind of cliche, 5 stages of grieving or whatever it's going to be, which they're very pop culture, but they don't keep up with best practice anyway. But these guys developed this different model of uh, grief, which they described as having a loss orientation and a growth orientation, and you kind
So
of move
separate
back
from
and
the
forth
five
between
stages of
these.
grief.
Yeah, because they're like, what the 5 stages ends up doing is describing
As in
one
like
part of that process as just purely
okay.
negative, right?
Mm.
And it's not the worst description, because people will experience moments like
But
that, not necessarily in that order or whatever. But
more of a
he's like,
removal of
what
the growth element.
exactly, right? He's like, what we end up doing is focusing on the one thing without seeing the other. And he's like, yeah, grieving
Yeah.
or loss or pain hurts, of course. And that reminds you it's there. It reminds you that things are different. It reminds you something's happened and that you need to learn from this and that sort of stuff. And then there are moments when you're doing the growing that comes out of that other minute, right? And
Mhm.
we do kind of move back and forth in our reflection in ourselves between moments like that, of like more gatheredness and then activity. Uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, it was a really great piece there that they give Jake.
I really love this paragraph too. He's like, the pain of the past can never be forgotten, like you're saying here. But if I let it take control of my present, then I have already determined the shape of my future. That shape is a
Hmm.
cage, and
Yeah,
that's yes.
yeah,
And the cage's
yeah.
name is fear, not fear of pain, no, but the fear of exploring my own narrative, fear of who I might meet on the inward journey of my life. This is good shit, man. Jake has become
It's
a
really
good
lovely.
writer.
Yeah, he really has. He
But then
really has. And
there's
whoever
more
wrote that
stuff.
page, that was some
But
damn good stuff.
yeah, whether it was
Yeah.
Kelly or Lanzing or both, but yeah, very
Ooh,
good. And then there's
yeah,
more, but it just ends. He's like, when I was young, I was bitten by a wolf spider. Today, for the first time, it doesn't hurt.
yeah.
Good stuff. So,
Oh man,
uh,
that was a great
I'm
issue.
all in. I'm all in on this story now. Bring on the Day of Blood. I'm loving it. And I like what they finally brought Sisko to a place that I can feel good about. And Jake.
Yeah,
Um, it's yeah, and the other side characters they're doing interesting stuff there as well. I mean, Tom
yeah,
Paris
man.
is just being Tom Paris. There's not a lot of depth there yet, but like there's
He can't get no
interesting,
respect.
certainly interesting things they're doing with Beverly.
Oh yeah, man. It's
So
there's I feel like the story is really starting to kind of mesh together and gear up toward a climax, at this point.
yeah,
Yeah,
being the Day of Blood most likely.
one would
Um,
assume.
so next we have Defiant #2, written by Christopher Cantwell with art by Angel and Zueta. And so these two titles run pretty much together as they're all leading towards the Day of Blood.
Yeah,
And Worf was in the other book before he went rogue. And Sisko even admits
indeed.
though, like Worf sort of was right to do so and rebel against him. And Crusher's just like I probably would have too because he's going to try to save his
Yeah,
son.
if it were my kid, I would have probably done the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah, and Sisko can totally relate to that because he would too. Though that one time when they left Jake at the station, not on purpose, of course. And they're like, should we go back for him? Chief says. And Sisko's like, no, we can't go back for one man, even if he is my son. So,
yeah.
tough,
That's a
tough.
that's a crazy moment. I'd forgotten about that. Whew.
Yeah.
You got to imagine that's on his mind during that conversation with Jake as well.
Well, then he's like, and then now I have to tell my father that I made that call. And he's
Yeah,
like, I'm not looking forward to that. He's like, I have to go tell my father why I left his grandson in the hands of a bloodthirsty enemy.
yeah. That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And Joe Sisko's gonna let you have it. Let me tell you, Joe Sisko ain't
Oh
gonna turn his
man.
back on nobody.
No, no.
So
He'll
this
yell
starts
himself
off
into
with
another heart attack, unfortunately.
so this just quick recap. Worf stole a shuttle off the Theseus because
Yeah.
he wants to chase down Kahless, who has, of course, Alexander under his thrall in the Red Path.
Yes.
And Sisko had other things. He wasn't going to go directly after Kahless, and Worf knew that, so he's like, I gotta go. And somehow, which we don't get an explanation of, but this starts off with a bit of a days ago thing. So we're basically telling the story of how they came to get Lore, because basically their science division is Lore's head,
Yes.
and this is
Which we learned
exposing.
at the very end of the last issue.
Yes. Oh, and also he doesn't. They're not in a shuttle anymore. He stole the Defiant. So
Yeah.
yay! Of course, it's called the
Yeah.
Defiant. Yay!
Yeah.
The Defiant, the ultimate hero ship, or at least
It's true.
one of them.
It's a tough little ship. Little.
Well, it is little. It is little.
It is. It's meant to have a slim profile, right?
And its engines aren't. Hence the problem with the shaking. Regular ship engines, tiny ship. All right.
Yeah, it's true.
And more than regular
Yeah,
ship
it's like
weapons,
a monster truck engines on a
tiny ship.
motorcycle. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, with like flamethrowers all over it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Something straight out of Mad Max is basically what that with like a Starfleet kind of skin on it. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I think we've really come down to a scientific explanation of the Defiant. It's Mad Max in Star Trek.
They just they need that guy with the guitar from Fury Road out the front of it. Oh yeah, be great.
They do. That should be us. Plain Simple Tailors.
That would be amazing.
We're the mad.
Just
we're
strap the
Fury
Plain
Road
Simple
guys
Tailors
of the
up
Star
to
Trek
the
universe.
See? Just give me a spacesuit, strap me to the front of that thing, keep me in the warp bubble. It'll be great.
I look like I live in a dystopian society. Come on now.
Yeah.
You.
I look like I've suffered the ravages of a dystopian society. I'm all grizzled. My ears are
We,
grizzled and my eyes are gray.
we
Oh
got
man.
this. So
All right.
the one interaction
After
we
that
don't
slight
get
diversion.
the the one thing we don't get backstory on yet is how Spock became to be Worf's first officer. Other
Oh
than the
right.
fact, as we've discussed many times, Spock's the ultimate cowboy. In fact, I'm probably going
Yes.
to pose that question on a Debate 9 sometime. It's like, of all the rogues in
Oh,
Star
that's
Trek, like
great.
Tom
Yeah, yeah,
Paris
yeah.
and Kirk and all of them, is Spock more of a rogue than all of them? Because I think you could make a case there.
Well, I mean, how many times has he stolen some starship or other?
And he
He's like a
uses Vulcan
professional
logic.
starship jacker at this point.
Yes, he is, and he uses Vulcan logic to like legitimize and like explain away all these crazy decisions he makes all the time.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm just gonna go to Romulus. It'll be fine.
he does it like
Yeah.
3 times in this issue. But so they're talking about how the last target of Kalis seems like it had been attacked by the crystalline entities, like it's showing a lot of the same readings.
Hmm.
And they're like, well, how can that be? And then they remember that Kalis, with his weapon, had destroyed all of the crystalline entities as far as we know.
Hmm.
So then they surmise that somehow Kalis is not only destroying these god creatures, but then somehow absorbing their powers and their energies.
Yeah.
So he's
Somehow
like,
learning how they produce their effects. Yeah.
yeah, like crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
Um, in the hands of a Klingon, no less.
Yeah. Which I mean, really just signifies assured destruction for everyone around him.
Yeah, the Beta
Yeah.
Quadrant is gonna be all Klingon.
Yeah.
And then from there on out. So yeah, they're down on. They beam down to that planet and they figure all that out. And then, this is an interesting thing. So Spock says, "A theory, Captain. If Kayla seeks to murder gods, but then retains the powers of his victims for himself, would that not, in turn, make him, in effect, a god as well?" And Worf's just like classic Worf. He never entertains anybody's theories ever. Like he he just goes, "It would only make him a hypocrite."
Yeah. I do like his answer though.
Yes, the
It's like,
original
no,
Kalis thought
no,
there was
no,
only
he's a Klingon.
yeah. He's like
That's
the
not
original
theologically
Kalis,
possible.
yeah, was sought to like free Klingons from the oppression of the gods. But
Yeah,
he's like,
precisely.
so that from that point forward, a Klingon needed only honor and strength to forge their own destiny. He's like, but this Kalis too, a perverse clone, he says. That he made the friggin' Emperor. So Worf, well, this is what this is. This is Worf is not just going after Alexander, cleaning up his own mess.
Yep. There's a lot of messes here.
There certainly is. He's like he's warped their theology into a power hungry like rampage.
Yeah.
Spork's like, but if he's not a clone, is he not the perfect copy of Kalis? Is
Now,
he
this is
not
the really
God?
interesting
No.
question. Yeah.
Yes, it's like, does that not logically mean that the original Kalis was also a false prophet and therefore less noble than religiously believed these last 1,500 years? So he's like, well, maybe
Yeah.
it's not that they're different, it's that you guys don't remember Kalis correctly. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We read that Klingons issue, and
Yeah.
that Kalis was awesome. I don't know,
He
man. That
was.
Kalis was awesome. But
I mean, it's
he
not
was
that he
still
wasn't power
consumed
hungry.
by his own goals, but they
Yeah.
seem to be at least more noble and less
Well, I mean,
mad.
I think what we could say is that Kalis was very much uh, a living, breathing Klingon, you know? But for him, what the question was is, what is it to truly be Klingon? I'm not
Yes.
sure that Kalis is asking the same question anymore. I
I don't
think
think he
Kalis is
cares.
asking the question, am I really Kalis? And is
Well,
always going to be asking that question.
yeah, this is the expression of that. He's going to do something crazy.
Yeah. He's
galactically
going to
human
finish the project, sort
because,
of, right?
mm,
But it's like a
and you
weird
know what?
final solution for the gods. It's crazy.
That's almost what he had to do, though. Worf, man, this is your fault, man. So I'm
Worf is
glad
the
he.
source and hopefully solution of this problem.
And he's smart, man. He's just like, you know what? I need Spock. Not a bad
It's like
choice.
I'm not gonna untease this knot
Oh,
like rationally on my own.
but that's the relationship I wanted to talk the most about, though. I didn't realize how much I needed a Worf Spock story. Those two work
It's
so
really
well
interesting, isn't
together.
it?
Yes, but yeah, it really is. And even Worf as the captain, you think Spock would be, and Worf would be the subordinate. But no,
Mm-hmm.
it works really well the other way. And I'm
It
surprised at
really
how
does.
and how much I'm enjoying their interactions and how much they feel natural and how much it's
Well, and
it's
it's
really good.
interesting because it partakes in that logic versus passion problem
Well,
that's
Worf
always been one of the core aspects of Spock's character. But Worf's not Kirk, like in
Worf's more
any
logical
way.
than Kirk. And
Yeah,
Spock even points out in this issue that like Worf's decisions thus far have been logical. Like Worf
and in
is
some ways,
logical.
Worf is more honorable than Kirk. I think, like
I
he's
think
more
so.
interested in that because
Yeah,
Kirk will
absolutely.
lie to you or deceive you at a drop of a hat if he needs to. He's
Oh,
perfectly
I
happy
will.
to, and he'll laugh all the way home. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
And I will quote and try not to shed a tear the great Jean-Luc Picard and say when he says to Worf, "In fact, I think you are the most honorable man I have ever known." And I think that's true because of all the characters we know in Star Trek, he is the most concerned with it.
Absolutely. It's like the way he moves his feet in front of himself. You know?
Seconded by probably only Jean-Luc Picard. Jean-Luc Picard is like the second to Worf as far as concerned with
Yeah.
honor, which is why he
Yeah.
made a good Chadich and he makes a good.
Oh
He
yeah.
fits in well with the Klingons, you know,
Yeah. Very
in
much.
a way.
With that aspect of them, certainly. Yeah.
So
That
I
formal
like this.
ritual.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
Spock says he cannot. Basically, they have a problem because there's a problem that needs to be solved. Spock knows how to solve it, but they don't have the time to do so. And it's involving the crystalline entities and
Hmm.
how it's meshing with the Klingon technology and so he's like Spock's like, admittedly, that's time we do not have. So Worf just looks at him.
Hmm.
He's like, so you are saying we need a mind heavily studied in crystalline entities that moves even faster than yours? And Spock's like, yes, Captain. I love the relationship. God, it's good because they're
Yeah.
both so direct as well, and it just
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
Like
And they're
and
not bothered by each other's directness either. They actually are like
no,
they respect it. They're like, oh yeah,
it,
like just give it to me
just
straight.
just get shit done fast.
Yeah.
Like which they
Yeah.
need to.
Well, this is
So
effective and reasonable. Let's go steal his
yeah,
head. Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah. He just goes, I know of one. I
Yeah.
know of mine faster than yours that knows a shit ton about the crystalline entities, which of
Yeah.
course, lore.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed.
They don't even keep
So
him inside the Federation either.
no,
He's
he's on
like
this.
on a crazy old structure, secret base that's on like the old blown up moon of Konos, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called Dead Moon One.
That's
So
right.
is it on
It's a great name
Praxis?
for a
Is
base.
it like a
I think
piece
it's
of
on Praxis.
Praxis?
Yeah.
Like a
I
piece
think
of
so.
Praxis? Well, that's friggin' a cool callback.
Yeah.
These 2 issues tonight are super layered.
Well,
Like, look at this
there's a
guy.
lot of
Remember
weird
this guy?
undiscovered country content in there.
Remember those
Yeah.
guys? Like from early
Yeah.
TNG?
The
Like
Section
the like
31 dudes. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. They were from a season 1, season 2 episode. The
yeah.
first for Luoxana Troy's first arrival, I think.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
They were there to meet with like yeah. Then they
The
didn't
fish
trust the other
species.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
at Worf and Spock sneak into Dead Moon One Ops room, which is the Section 31 station. So that, of
Hmm.
course, is wearing black. That's their Section 31.
Yeah,
And
they've got all kind of cool infiltrator ninja kind of costume thing that Worf and all those dudes are in.
Yeah. It's like
It's pretty.
Worf and Spock doing Black Ops. Anyway, it's pretty
I
funny.
love it.
Um, so Spock reminds Worf before going in that phasering a fellow Starfleet officer is a mandatory 3 years in correctional facility. And Worf's just like, well, they're Section 31, so they're not necessarily Starfleet.
And
But
who's
then
going to want
when
to
they,
admit they're out here anyway?
well, that
You
comes to
know.
play. But Worf instead just kicks the guy in the face. And he's just like, I said 3 years imprisonment. He's like, I did not fire my phaser. He's like, the sentence term is the same for physical assault. So he didn't save himself anything. That's pretty funny. So they're in, and then they find Lore, and they sneak out, and then they activate Lore. Oh, I think I've lost Dave here. Can you hear me? Well,
Oh, and we're back.
oh, you're back. I can hear you now.
Hey.
You froze up there for a sec.
Oh yeah.
So they snuck out with Lore, and they activate Lore, and the first thing Lore says is, "I love this." Is Lore? What do you think the first thing Lore would say after all that shit he's been through with like Worf and the TNG guys? They activate him. He's just like, I mean, maybe I should start with, "I'm sorry." Anyway,
Not
I thought that was
exactly what
great.
I was thinking. It's
No, but it's
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
And Worf's just like, I
Yeah.
don't care. You're like misdeeds are worse than any apology, so like I don't care about it. And Lord's just like, my emotion chip is gone. He's just like, yeah, Data took that. And he's just like, Worf,
Hmm.
you must. He's just like, I must admit, I'm a lot calmer without it. He's like, I may not have been the nicest guy before, but I think the chip must have driven me insane. Which, you know what? Maybe it did. And
Well,
maybe
because
like
he was loading
just
that onto his basic circuits that already allowed him feelings, right?
really,
Yeah,
really.
because Lore always had feelings, right?
So why did he need the emotion chip?
I don't know, but he takes it, if you recall, in
No,
I
because
think it's
he
in
was
that
meant. It was
episode,
meant for Data.
Brothers.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was meant for Data, and he takes it.
he
You're
takes it.
right. Oh, that would drive you insane.
So he's got like he literally had big feelings all the time,
Oh wow, that's
like
interesting.
Titanic feelings. Think
Maybe I
about
should
like the
do
feelings a
some
Vulcan would
homework.
have that drove them to all those wars, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wonder if he
yeah.
wasn't prey to that kind of stuff.
Led the Romulans to leave.
Hmm.
um, so yeah, he's just like, Worf, you must think I'm a psychopath. And Worf's is like, that assessment would be correct.
You,
And
not a
and
good guy.
and Laura's just like, you shouldn't have powered me back on. And he's like, yeah, but we need you for a thing. And he's like, will you help us? And he's like, well, sure, why not? I'm not angry
It was
anymore.
like at least I'm doing something good for a change, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
well, Worf tells him he can
lose.
atone for some of the misdeeds he's
Hmm.
done. And he's like, well, I'll think on it. Which for positronic android, he'll probably be back to you in a few minutes.
Yeah, it's not going to take long.
No. He's already
Um,
like figuring out nefarious lore. He's still thinking of a nefarious way out of his
oh,
situation.
he's figuring out a way to take the Defiant, would be my suspicion. They've got him pretty well hooked into those computers. It's not going to be long, and he's going to be
Likely.
like, pew pew, now I have machine guns.
Worf's gonna be far too confident in the emotion chip being gone. He's still lore. Like
I think that's why Lore
Lore even
said it
says it.
straight
He's like, I
away,
may not have been the most nicest guy before. It's like, no, you weren't. Lore, you
right?
suck, man.
May not have been.
Yeah, may
That's a
not have been.
non-apology apology if I ever heard one.
Yeah.
I may
And
have a
then Worf
certain
gets
grudge
back to
against
his.
Lore myself. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So then Worf and Spock get back to the bridge, where, of course, the rest of his crew, B'Elanna and Laren,
Mm-hmm.
are at the bridge, and they've come upon a minefield.
Yes.
And Worf's just plan is just like, just punch her through.
Yeah, just like
Just
drive
go
straight
through it.
through it.
Like Ro's like, he's like, Ro, find us a hole. She's like, there is one, but like, it's like a needle and thread. He's like, find the needle then. It's like
Yeah.
Sulu, fly it apart then. Maybe that's a callback.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Worf really is not
so
worried
cool
about the
image
condition
there.
of the ship at
Like,
all.
there's explosions all around them, and they're just like within, like, out of the range of those explosions, and they do take damage.
Yeah.
He's like,
One
little
assumes there's
second level.
sparks and things coming off consoles everywhere.
And then they come upon Kahless's ship.
This
Oh no, this is
weird
the
looking
Scarab.
thing. That's
No,
the
this is the
folks that they
Orion
got it
ship.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is the Orion ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
So because they need to make a deal with the Orions, and that's why he got Ro in the first place, because he needs like somebody they would believe stole a Federation starship.
Mm-hmm.
So she has to pretend that she's done this and pretend that she's sort of like an Orion pirate herself. Which is interesting
Mm-hmm.
because last time Ro had to pretend to be somebody, she got all in on that cause. So basically, Ro in the next issue is going to be an Orion pirate because we all know Ro can't be sent on a mission to pretend to be something and not become that thing.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, she was sent to.
Am I
Yeah, that's
crazy?
true. No,
Like,
no,
hey, go
she was
pretend to
literally
be a
sent to
Maquis.
pretend to be a
Okay, I
real
can do that.
Starfleet
I'm a
officer.
Maquis.
Right? Now you're in jail. Now go back
Oh,
and pretend to
yep,
help out
yep.
Starfleet. Oh no, I'm Starfleet again. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah. She's impressionable, that one.
She's quite impressionable. Quite impressionable.
Yeah.
So,
I think she may be a sucker for a good cause or what appears to be a good cause as well.
So B'Elanna was kind of pissed with that whole thing. She's just like, dude, like fly right into it. Never seen that strategy before. I actually have a kid and family, so like maybe don't fly right into it next time. Like,
Yeah.
and I love how her and Ro hate each other.
Oh,
Ro
B'Elanna
thinks
has
like,
no time for Rolaren.
and Ro thinks like B'Elanna's not even a Maquis. She's like, you're just like this green Maquis who, like, as soon as you join the Maquis, got whisked off to the Delta Quadrant. Like, what did you ever do for the Maquis? Like,
That is amazing.
yeah, man, that's a cool,
Yeah.
like, again, good character choice. Like, that's a
That's a
cool
really
thing.
interesting dynamic between those two. Yeah. Yeah. And you know Taurus is
Spock's
not
just
going to
like
put up with that
remarkable
for one
two.
second.
Spock's like remarkable 2 violations of the Treaty of Algernon in 3 days because they fire on
Yeah,
that
they're
ship
using that
first.
cloaking device all over the place.
Yeah, they fire on that ship first because the ship didn't buy any of Ro's stuff. They just like fired up their weapons. So they fired
Mm-hmm.
first. So then they believe Ro. They're like, all right, well, Federation wouldn't have fired first. So they're after the transponder code
Mm-hmm.
of Kahless.
So they can follow him.
Kahless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means his ship, the Kuvo Kahless, means honor the voice of Kahless.
Yes.
So they're like, well, what do you have to offer for this transponder code? And Spock's just like, trilithium. And they just like cut the feed, and they're just like, dude, what? And the Blonde's like, yeah, what? And Ro's like, yeah, what? Like, we don't have trilithium. Like, what are you talking about? That shit's crazy. We definitely don't have
like,
it. Worf's
I
just
love the
and Spock's
page
like,
of
yeah, but they don't know that.
there's a one pager in the issue that talks about the laws pertaining to trilithium, and anyone with more than
Yeah,
0.031 nanograms is subject to serious legal sanction. Like, you
they
just can't have any amount of this stuff.
0.031 nanograms like 10 times. They're just like,
yeah, I know. They're like, this is a
more
very
than
specific
0.
amount, people.
Yeah, like, do not mess with 0.0.3232 nanograms.
Oh my God.
Because
That is too much.
Ass.
Critically too much.
Way too much trilithium. What are you doing? Making a weapon?
But so they're saying that they've got trilithium on board.
Yeah.
Except, it's an obvious lie.
And B'Elanna's just like, I never thought I'd live to see a lying Vulcan. Like, there's no trilithium. And he's just like, yeah, well, like, they don't know. And that's great, because then they can't make a weapon out of it. Like, Spock's logic is hilarious. So
I
they're
know,
like,
he's like, well, I've
so
just included in the premise that we are going to rip these people off.
yeah, yeah.
There's no point not
So
ripping them off. So let's do that
let's
thing.
just take that code, get out of here. Jim Kirk was here, he'd be all for it,
Yep. He already would have beamed
and he
over.
might, have a quick dalliance with a Orion female.
Oh,
Overrun that.
gosh. Yeah.
Um,
His shirt would be ripped half open at this point for some reason. Those were the
I
days.
like this though, where they're explaining the ruse though. They're like, masking is in place. Their tricorder readings will detect high grade trilithium inside because they're taking over a box. And Rose is like, well, what if they open it? He's like, then they will find our rocks facsimiled by our replicate. They will find our rocks facsimiled by our replicators, sealed in clear field containment holding boxes. Tricorders will still read at correct levels. She's like, well, what if they open the boxes? He's like, then they are stupid because trilithium is highly toxic.
What could
Oh,
possibly go
dear.
wrong? I love it. They are
So
stupid.
they they
It
beam
reminds me
over
of
to the
Drax,
Orion
that
ship.
answer does. You know?
Kind of. Then they are
Yeah.
stupid. My reflexes are very fast.
I
So they
would
beam over
catch
the
it.
ship, and they immediately have weapons pulled on them, and that's the end of the issue. So, how do you feel about
Indeed.
Worf's little side adventure?
Oh, this is great fun so far. This is like absolute crazy ass cowboy diplomacy
Oh yeah,
foolishness, and absolutely fits Worf as a captain and Spock as a first officer.
agreed.
This is a great ragtag band of misfits story. Yeah, I'm having
Yeah,
fun with this one so
lore
far.
even,
Yeah,
lore even.
yeah, like they actually managed
Yeah,
to make lore there in a way that kind of works. You know, when I first
yeah.
saw that splash panel, I'm like, oh, this might be shoving in one too many people from the old days. But it's actually like, it's
They
not the
found the one
craziest
way
reason
that
to have them around.
they need a fast brain that knows the crystalline entity. Like I can't believe that worked its way into a story, but it did.
Yeah,
So
worked great.
yeah, all in. Get us to the Day of Blood. But we're gonna sidetrack from this story a moment. No, you know
To a
what?
very charming
Let's
tale
let, let's
with
bump up
very
into the
high content
preludes,
of Vic
but
Fontaine.
so we don't break up the storytelling. Let's do the
Oh,
prelude first. So
you're
we have
keeping me from
prelude.
Vic,
Sorry, we'll get
Pally.
back to Vic in a moment. Prelude to the Star Trek Day of Blood, written by the
Mm-hmm.
writers of the Star Trek series and the Defiant series, with art by uh, Mike Feehan. I'm not sure how you say that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an interesting little story that we can speak on quickly. So there's this Starfleet captain who's beamed down to this big event down on Konos,
Mm-hmm.
where it seems to be at the what do they call it?
The Three
The bridge
Bridges
of three
place. Yeah,
turns. Yeah, the Three Bridges place.
yeah.
Um, and this
Or some kind of a like a facsimile location,
of
right?
it. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. I wonder if that's not like an architectural thing on Konos or on
Konos.
Klingon worlds now that you'd have like important buildings around a three-pointed
Yeah,
square or something, you know, like or plaza,
yeah,
three-pointed
yeah.
square. I know geometry
Uh,
real good. It's a
we are smart.
Lobachevskian square, damn it.
We make
Uh,
things go.
that's right. We look things for things to make us strong.
Why is there an
Um,
arm?
so I really like this character, first of all.
Yes, he's
Uh,
interesting. So yeah, so
yeah, so
he's
he's attending the event with a looks like a Klingon
rally of
acquaintance or
some
someone
sort.
who's leading them around, escort or guide or something, right?
Yeah,
And it's a
Betsy
massive
calls like
event. Clearly, there's like tons of people there.
he calls him like Tarak or something like
Hmm.
that.
And they kind of come out a shuttle at the start, so he's been invited down, is my
Volcor.
suspicion, or asked to attend.
Yes,
Yeah.
his name is Volcor. Yes, and this captain says that he's telling Volcor that he grew up using Kling because his father used the word Klingon as a slur because his father
Hmm.
would have likely have fought in the Klingon wars. had that
Quite
sort
possibly,
of
yeah.
bias. Um,
Yeah. Growing up in the days
like a
before
lot
there
of
was a peace.
yes, indeed. And he's like, he admits that he did as well. And it almost got him washed out of Starfleet because he couldn't let go of that hatred. So then he says he wanted to learn more about Klingons and their history and stuff. And then by doing so, he expunged himself of the hatred. So now he is here
Hmm.
on to see this event as kind of part of that, I guess, part of that journey.
Yeah. It's kind of one of his life projects, right? Is
Yeah,
to continuously overcome the impulses of that early formation for hatred, right? Because it'll find its way to come back if you don't keep it out.
yeah.
And I
But
think
this
that's
is
a
an
really great
insane
place. He's like, I
rally.
made this a practice in my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a crazy
So this
rally. They're
they're talking about killing
sort of
gods and
Kalis Day
stuff.
almost. Yeah.
But then these ships come in that they say have the shape of a Romulan vessel, but have Klingon weapons, which is
Hmm.
interesting. Which they do. They kind of look like a Valdor class Romulan vessel,
They do. Yeah.
closest to anything. But then
Now
out
we
of
know the
nowhere,
Romulans and Klingons have collaborated
oh
on
yeah,
ship design and production before, so there could be
they have.
multiple reasons for this. But I do get a Duras feel of Romulans getting into Klingon affairs here
They might
as a
get a little
possibility,
Duras
anyway.
action. No,
Yeah,
hard to say. So then,
maybe he
surprise,
purchased
red
ships
cloaks
from
come
them.
out of nowhere
Kalis did.
and
Mm-hmm.
start killing people, which is, of course, the Kalis' Red Path. And they're all like, for the
Mm-hmm.
Red Path. And the captain's like, beam us out of here. Which I guess his crew was down there as well. But they beam him out of there. But before they do, Volkor says to him, he's like, my name is not Volkor, it's just the name of a priest I killed. He's like, I have
Mm-hmm.
been the house of Martok, Moog, Roshenko. My father is the traitor Worf, but I am his son no longer. My name is Alexander. So, and I walk the red path.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
It's like,
Puts a
it's
big
interesting.
X on his face.
Yes, he does. We were talking yesterday, and you're like, this story has taken Worf down some dark paths. But
Oh
that's
yeah.
true. But they're taking Alexander down some real dark paths. Like, for as much of a lost soul as he always was, like, he's throwing his life away in this story. Like,
Oh, he's really like
he's
he's committed himself to a very very difficult path here. Yeah. Yeah.
so the captain
He's gonna
moves out,
be.
but it's too late. A single Klingon has beamed aboard the bridge of his ship.
Mm-hmm.
And that single, who is that single Klingon?
Here he
Says,
goes.
he's like, I alone, storm, the storm made flesh. I who forged the first bat'leth in the fires of Kristak, who quenched that blade in his own brother's heart, the victor of the three-turn bridge, the warlord of Konos, the lover of Lenkasa, the immortal, the unforgettable Kalis. So Kalis kills this entire bridge crew.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting. It's like this captain who spent his whole career trying to expunge himself of the hatred of Klingons is now going to be killed by one. And he's just like, well, do it then.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yes, Pappy was right. Like,
Yeah. I mean, there is that side in Klingons, you know. And
yeah.
Kalis means to bring it to the front.
And then they blow up that Starfleet vessel, and we just see Kayla standing there with Alexander, who he calls his Duval. So I don't know if like he's sort of like some apprentice or
It's interesting, eh?
like
But I really, there's
squire
interesting
or
ways,
like
like, because this story to me participates in that same theme, which was present in what was it, Sons of Honor? Uh, is that what they're called?
was it?
Brothers of Honor. Anyway, in the first season of TNG, the first time we meet those, on the three Klingons that stole the little
Yep.
freighter. Like, this is a theme that's been part of Worf's story since the very beginning. It's sort of like what are Klingons really gonna be? Are they going to be these outward sort of conquerors, or as Worf would say, is the true battle inside the warrior's spirit.
Well,
Um,
that's
and
a great
Alexander's
question.
clearly taken his choice here.
And Alexander asks another great question. He's just like, he asks Kalis, he's like, what is honor, truly?
Hmm.
And Kalis says, that is indeed a foolish question. But I understand. Faith is most trying in times of turmoil. He says, honor is the air we breathe. Honor is the snow beneath our boots. Honor is ours to make when we walk the red path. A path that ultimately leads unto me, said like a true tyrant. And
Hmm. Yeah, very much an authoritarian figure at this point, right? I and only I
he's
can save you.
yeah, and then he says, "Today we begin to teach all our people the true meaning of." So he basically was already sort of in power, but he sort of did a coup anyway. It's like a I don't know. They didn't show him
Yeah,
kill
man.
Martok there or anything, so we don't know the situation that
No,
Martok
there'd
was
still
in.
be a chancellor somewhere, but he's asserting the role of the emperor much more, right?
Yeah.
Like when the
So
emperor
now we,
pushed against the shogun in Japan over historically.
so now I'll
Oh
give you your
yeah,
Vic Fontaine. We'll get our Vic Fontaine. We
here we
do
go.
love
We
our
got our
Vic
Vic
Fontaine.
Fontaine, Dog of War #2.
Yeah, this is a fun story. This is to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Deep Space Nine,
Yeah.
and it's a fun story. I'm enjoying it. So it starts off. Quark is getting to like this dog a lot. So basically, there's this dog to catch up. There's a dog. He came with Borg technology.
Yeah.
Quark was going to sell the dog because he's like a pure breed to a guy, but he
Hmm.
really just wanted the Borg technology. Anyway, so he calls the dog Laddie after Latin.
Yeah.
Laddie. Instead of Lassie, Laddie. Anyway, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And, and
Laddie has had a
so
lovely time playing on the holodeck so far and all sorts of stuff. Um,
So there's an interesting nod here. They're looking over this analysis, and the analysis is by, I don't know if you can see, there's a little blurry, by from the Daystrom Institute by a Dr.
mhm.
Aaron McDonald, who is the physics advisor for Star Trek.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so they're saying that this device is a neural digital interface. They're studying this Borg device. Sisko wouldn't give it out to Starfleet
Yeah.
research. He's like, they're busy. I'll study it. And of course, as Ross always does, Ross is like, all right, Ben, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
it's
He's like, I know I
it's
can't really
basically
stop you at all.
yeah. But they're saying it's a neural digital interface capable of instant two-way communication across networks. It also signals interact and amplify the user's brainwave activity, and also command, query, and coordination controlled by thought.
Hmm.
So quite the device. Sounds very Borgy.
Oh, yeah.
And turns out here he is. Vic's running a dog park as part of his
Oh, he's having a
casino.
great time.
Yeah, man, people are
Yeah.
coming in too. Like people are coming in. Like it's like those
Quark's making
cat
money at it.
cafes and dog cafes they have. People,
That's right.
if you were like grew up on Earth and you've been on a station for years and years, you'd miss
Can you
cats and
imagine?
stuff
Yeah.
if you were a dog person.
There's
Good
actually
times.
interesting comments in some publications about how long an officer would need to have been serving, even maybe aboard a particular ship before they can request things like certain kinds of quarters or permission to have a pet.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
all sorts of regs about it, that's for sure. I would think in
Interesting.
Starfleet. Everything
So
will cost energy and oxygen for sure.
so Cisco decides he's going to put on this device. He's like, the only way
Oh
to test
yeah.
it is to test it. He's like, yeah. So that happens. And like Bashir and O'Brien are in the holodeck, and they take Laddie with them, and it's like this dystopian kind of thing. It's kind of funny.
Oh yeah, they're like it's like old Earth or some kind of thing, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So, but
Or
then
like they're
Cisco
playing
comes in,
Halo
and
or something.
yeah, really, in
Yeah.
like during the friggin' World War III or the
Looks
eugenics
like it.
room or something.
Yeah.
So Sisko
Their
comes
kind
in
of
and closes
stuff,
off their
anyway.
program, but he says he wants Chief to stay for a minute, and he puts on the device. And they
Yeah.
basically he sets up this hollow program that has the Borg in it, but they remove the
Hmm.
safety protocols. And then Sisko puts on the device, and then the Borg come at them, and Jadzia is just there with a phase rifle, and she's like, "Dude, they're getting close. Do we put the safety protocols back on?" She keeps saying, he keeps saying, and she keeps being like, "No, no, no. I can see everything. I can hear everything. I know everything." He keeps saying, "I know everything."
Hmm.
uh,
Meanwhile, this thing is infiltrating the
the
holodeck
station.
and all sorts of stuff, right? Like it's getting into every system aboard the station.
Yeah, and the Borg are getting closer. So there's all kinds of things going on. Sisko's just like, "Wait, wait, 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 wait." And then he is able to control the Borg and stop them
Hmm.
from advancing.
And
So
they
he's
just
like,
stop
"This
dead.
they do," and he's like, "This is what we need," because earlier in the issue we found out that they basically the newly formed Federation Klingon Romulan alliance against the Dominion just did a big mission, and they're just inability to coordinate with each other cost them the mission. It cost, of course, a lot
Yeah,
of
in
ships
the
and
Calandra
lives.
sector, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, "This is what we need. This is like perfect instantaneous coordination and everyone." So this might be it. This might be what wins us the war. So he's pretty excited about that.
Hmm.
And then he takes it off, but it did, it did infiltrate some systems. So we'll see if that comes back into play.
Yeah. But it seems to have this ability to just reach right out to any kind of computer systems or electronic systems nearby.
Yeah.
And nearby seems to be a pretty relative term, like the whole station at once.
Yeah. So then we cut to Quark's bar, and Garrick's sitting there, and he's just like, "I don't like him, but I don't, or I like him, but I don't trust him." And he's talking about the dog. And Quark's just like, "Why is he the target of your suspicion?" He's just like, you're like, never trust any creature that adorable. I'd much rather spend time with a Cardassian
Oh
Regnars."
yeah, that's right. And we know the time he spent with Ragnars
Some
and
sister
lizards out in
time
the
too,
desert. That's for
indeed.
sure.
Indeed, we do. Great
Yeah.
book. Read it. Read it. Or wait, because
Oh
soon is the
yes.
audiobook with him reading it is coming out. And
Oh my
even though I've
God, I'm
read the
looking
book,
forward
I'll
to
be listening to
that.
that audiobook. And speaking of books,
Oh yeah.
the autobiography of Ben Sisko's coming out, and we'll be interviewing here on Locutus of Trek
Well,
the
that's right.
writer,
In the coming weeks. That's right.
Yes, in the coming week, Derek Tyler Attico.
Very
So,
exciting.
everyone on this ship loves this dog, or everyone on the station, like pretty much every character at some point has referred to him as a really good boy.
Yes, he's a very good
He's
boy.
a really good boy.
Yeah, good boy.
Chiefs just like
Yeah.
sees him because he's a corgi. He's just like, "Oh, he's stocky and like and strong, like it's that Welsh blood." He's just like
Yeah.
he's like he says to the dog, "It's like me and my ancestors and your ancestors could have been neighbors."
Yeah, that's right. I love. They're all just like sitting there,
Oh,
baby talking this creature. It's lovely.
yeah, they love this dog. Pretty funny.
Yeah, this is sort of a
So
charming story. This could totally have been a funny Deep Space Nine
yeah.
B plot. It would have been great. Yeah.
So then Cisco's talking to Ross, and he's trying to explain the device to him.
Hmm.
It just cuts to Quark, and he finds out that the person he's talking to, the person who he's supposed to sell this dog to, he realizes it's a poacher. And he's like, "They're gonna kill Laddie." End of
That's
issue.
right.
So not a
Yes.
lot happens in this issue, but we get to what the deal is with that device.
Yeah, we're getting some good setup. A
Yeah,
lot of
there's
clues
some
as
good.
to what may be coming, or things that are going to get further expanded anyway in coming issues. I hope. If yeah, it feels like there's a lot of like Chekhov's gun stuff in this issue. Oh, don't forget about the dog. Don't forget about the things this device does.
Yeah,
That sort of stuff.
yeah. It
Which
did
you got
feel
to
like
have
a
a
bit of
moment
a
of that
setup.
somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There's a bit of
3 and 4
they're
will
building.
probably take off. So
I would suspect.
not the super strongest issue for me. Not I wasn't as into it as like the story's been fun. overall.
Oh, it's great. It's charming.
But
Yeah.
I'm a little higher on this lead up to
Well,
today.
I think we could say this story has yet to get its zoomies.
Yes,
Yes.
indeed. But there's more issues to come. I believe it's a 5-issue series, actually.
Oh, right on.
Okay. So
That should be
that
enough to
brings
tell a
us
lovely
to
story.
a close here for this evening.
I think it does.
And
Indeed. Oodles.
as far as us goes, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, or wherever you get your podcasts. Contact us at cutersoftrek@gmail.com. Actually, I think I just got a message saying that's been so inactive, they're going to shut it down. So I'm going to go in there and get it not shut down.
I should send us an email today in that case.
Someone should send
Uh,
us an email so it doesn't get shut
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Help a little cuter out, would you?
You send us a
And
string of
you can.
binary. It'll be great.
I think that's all we have to say for tonight.
Okay.
Except for
All
one
right.
thing, which is
End transmission.